Hey guys, Rhino50 here with some World of Warships Legends content for you. Tonight I'm going to go over a video with Rupperect, the Tier 8 German battleship, battle cruiser. I just recorded some gameplay and thought I might post it and talk about what I was doing in the match and kind of how to play this secondary beast. So we'll jump in. You'll see we're in a match in the north, domination. And we're spawning on the center spawn at B. So as the match starts, you'll notice there's one destroyer on each team. And we're evenly matched as far as battleships and cruisers. Now when the match starts, I like to immediately start straight ahead, kind of quarter, get my guns turned to one side so I can cover that gap. Where the destroyer started in the center with me, I'm purely assuming that possibly their destroyer is with them, which happens to be a Friesland. Not too worried about torps. So I'm quartering away with my guns covering the cap. I notice at that time our destroyer, the Fletcher, rather than pushing forward and spotting, is going to continue just basically stay right with me and not spot anything ahead. So if anything were to push forward, obviously I'm going to get spotted first in that. Really appreciate that destroyer play. As we continue to move across, 3 ships are spotted over at Charlie, and a quick glance over. As I do that, the Iowa lights up, immediately goes dark on our side. So what I'm thinking here is, if you look at the sea cap there's those 3 ships just in that black hole parked over there, the enemy ships, just hiding behind the island. So I figure I'm going to offer support for our guys that spawned at sea. And as you notice, one of our battleships is deciding he's going to sail off into the sunset, basically out of play for the majority part of the match. What saves us here, kind of with that, is one of their battleships does the same thing. So their Flandry's pushing forward towards the cap. So I take a shot there. And you'll see my secondaries start kicking off right there, just basically, since I'm bow tanking in or bowing forward, one of those is firing. I obviously must have went dark there. The Flandry missed his shot. So at this time, I'm going to turn in towards the island, try to get more of my secondaries on the Flandry. I activate my secondary booster and notice, well, they're not firing. However, I'm able to get my main guns to fire and still hit. Obviously not for a lot of damage there. But my secondaries aren't firing, so they're not able to arc over the island here. So I have it in full reverse, waiting for this big girl to stop and start backing up to get some secondary firing onto that Flandry, and also now to get my main guns to fire on it as well. You'll see the Flandry here takes, I think, 1 torpedo hit from our Fletcher there. And the Fletcher continues to push across the cap, and he's going to head over towards that opening between the 2 islands at Charlie. Let me pause that there, or turn that down just a little bit. See, I get a shot on the Flandry, and also as I'm shooting, doesn't quite kill it, but my secondaries start kicking off as I'm backing up. I already have 12 secondary hits. Secondaries actually destroyed that and get a close quarter, and obviously the first strike, or the first kill. As you saw over straight ahead of me is, I believe it's the Siegfried coming over on the enemy team. Try to get a shot over into A on the ships that are over there. And yeah, the Siegfried is pushing forward full steam ahead towards the cap. I go ahead and activate my sonar to cover any torpedoes that the Siegfried might be shooting into the cap at our other battleship that's with me. And you'll see right here, probably a good idea to have that sonar up. There comes these torpedoes towards our battleship. I'm just waiting for a clear shot over that little finger on the island there. A lot of times your rounds are going to bury right into that, so I didn't want to take a chance. Went ahead and fired my torps. Obviously didn't need to. Was able to finish off the Siegfried, who decided it was safer for him to stay broadside to me. So now I'm going to roll into the cap. The black hole over there has got the ships kind of sucked over into that area where they can't do much. And so now I'm just going to roll into the cap, start working on this Iowa, and let my secondaries just basically take over. So as I'm rolling in here, just continue to watch right here and just watch the amount of secondary hits and damage that I'm going to do, as well as with my main guns. As I'm rolling in and capturing the cap, engaging the Iowa, I'm going to bow tank in somewhat so I don't take a lot of damage. Also being aware of what's going on with the Rune and the other battleship that's back on the other side that's now engaged with 3 of our other ships over there. So it's a good idea to roll into the cap. Obviously, the guys that spawned at sea, or the ships that spawned at sea, didn't have any interest in fighting or taking the cap itself. So as a battleship, I guess we're going to take this cap. Luckily, I've got the support with the battleship next to me, as we're just unloading. And now I don't have the booster going at this time, I don't believe. I think it's still on cooldown. And just engaging that Iowa. I mean, he hit me decent there, but I know I've got about 30 seconds roughly before he can fire again, so I'm just going to continue to pepper him with secondaries and main shots to the superstructure. Also being aware of the Rune. Now it looks like the Rune's going to come back over here and decide maybe he didn't want to stay in that other fight. He's going to come towards me. So I fire torpedoes just for defensive measures, maybe get a lucky torp strike, and to keep him from pushing out until I can get the Iowa out of play. Fire another shot into the superstructure. Does about, what, 3,000 damage there. And continue to let my secondaries fire and engage. Now my camera has the actual full amount of secondary hits hidden, but I will show you at the end of the game how many secondary hits we actually have on target in this match. Set another fire on the Iowa. He's burning, it's inevitable. He's not going to last much longer here. Fire one more main gun salvo into the superstructure. No, he's pretty well done. Turn my guns to try to engage the Rune if he pops up again. And you'll see right here he decides, oh, there he is. Fire a salvo as he's still backing up slightly, and let the secondary start working on him. I get a good decent hit, not for a huge amount of damage. Obviously no Citadel, and he decides he doesn't want any part of the secondary showers over there, and so he pulls ahead, decides to go dark again. As you see, the 3 ships that went over there on the far side of the map from Charlie, there's 1 left. So they basically did nothing over there. Now as I'm rolling over here, I know that obviously the Friesland has rolled in there and taken that cap. Don't know where he's at. Don't know if he's going to start firing from his smoke as a typical Friesland player once I'm spotted here. So to basically not take as much HE damage, I start rolling right towards the island in front of me. As the Brandenburg pops up and gets detected, now we're just in a secondary battle. Just 2 ships with great secondaries unloading on each other. You'll see he disabled both my torpedo tubes on one side. As the Bismarck, another secondary beast, rolls around the corner, and we have so many shells in the air. Just raining shells of secondary. Fire as I go behind the island. Go ahead and beach, anticipating Brandenburg torps either going to be in front of me or possibly could be behind me. So I basically beach myself so I can get backing up quicker and to get back on target, at least with my rear guns. Which I fire a gun there. My torpedo tubes are back up. Go ahead and launch as many torps as I can, and then he blacks out one set of torpedo tubes. And we're in a secondary shower fight. Got to get a great hit on the Brandenburg there with my main guns. And we end up finishing him off with our secondaries for our second close quarter expert. Now it's Bismarck. Get a rear gun salvo on him. Roll in behind the island to eliminate some of his secondary damage. And I'm still anticipating Brandenburg torps. For whatever reason, I don't know why he fired him. We might have disabled him and I just didn't notice. Or he just didn't have a chance to get those torpedoes away. So as we roll around, we're able to finish the Bismarck for the Kraken. So that's our fifth ship kill. And the Friesland's pops up there, and basically he gets taken out by our cruiser over there. And I'll roll in to B, take the B cap, and the only thing left was that old rune still hiding back there. As you see him right there at C. He's basically sitting over there just anticipating and ambush torping any ship that's coming around there. So he didn't do anything for his team. He may have got some damage, but didn't do anything, team-based wise on that I could see. So we roll in, we take B. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward the video here, just so we can. You'll see I'm just on my way trying to find this rune. He's basically right in that same spot, only he's just ready to back up here. He gets his plane in the air to spot, and let's get right into here. He's backing up. I'm not going to get a shot on him. Our Kronstadt pushes forward to kill him, get that last salvo on. But in this rune's fashion, he ambush torps him as well. Just like he did our battleship that went after him over there. But they traded. Game over. And let's see how the Rupperect did in damage. 119,000 damage. Kraken, 2 caps. What else did we have here? Let's back that up just a little bit here. Looks like we had 2,532 XP, Kraken, 2 close quarters, and the first strike. Did we end up showing? Here we go. 119,000 damage, 376 secondary hits. The ship is a secondary monster. Now I run Celiacs with Madden as inspiration, and I can't think of the Azure Lane Japanese commander for the secondary range and dispersion. Can't think of her name right now. But anyway, you'll see 376, really good hit, decent game. Rupperect, again, I think if you're not running a secondary build on the ship, I don't think you're doing yourself any favors. Again, this is Ryan at Rhino50. I hope you enjoyed the video, and look forward to some videos in the future of World of Warships Legends content. If you like the video, or if you have any suggestions for any other videos, please leave those in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. That helps my channel and also helps the algorithm. So thanks again. Hope to see you soon.